Hello everyone. I just made a little serendipity art journal with some random pieces of paper, and I am going to randomly art journal on these pages, and I thought I would take you along. Okay, so I've given myself some prompts, and the first one is collage. I have got some little bits of different things to collage here. No focal points, just some random stuff. And I've got my gluing magazine out here too, so I don't get glue all over this brand new under paper that I put here just for this purpose. Because when I get some random bits on there, I am going to use that for pages. So it's kind of a twofer, I don't like this, so let's get a little something that will cover that up. That will do. Yeah, let's put my basket over here. Now, I am doing Serendipity Art Journaling, which means it's a happy accident. I am not planning out pages. I am just giving myself a few prompts. Get that words covered up. Giving myself a few prompts, and my whole purpose is to just enjoy the process. It's been a long time since I've done anything and just tried not to get something done, tried not to make something pretty, and that is got glue on it. Let me get that off there. Go. I'm not trying to make anything pretty. I'm not trying to make it so I can post it on social media. I'm just hoping to get in the groove and just do some fun journaling. Is that too big? Let me put it over here since it's a little bit longer than I thought it would be. So I want to enjoy the process. I want to have some fun and not worry about the end result. That is all there is to it. So I made this little booklet so I wouldn't worry so much about ruining another book or got to make it turn out, any of that stuff. I am done with that for now anyway, trying to be done with it. And oh, that's kind of cool. It's too big for the page. Let's rip some of that off. Didn't rip off enough. My fingers have glue on them already. Fingers have glue on them already. So I'm just not trying to go fast. I'm just trying to enjoy the process. Like I said, I really don't care what it turns out to be. And I am not planning any of the pages. So that's why I am doing just a little bit to each one and then turning the page and then doing something else, going to a different page. That way I am not trying to make a pretty journal page that I can post on social media or whatever. I want to use this, but find a place for it. Ooh, that's a very white place. Let's use it there. I don't want to post something on social media. I just want to relax with some art journaling. So that's all there is to it. Get some random I like these numbers on here. It's from my taxes. The instructions for the taxes. A long time ago. Doesn't seem like that long ago, but it was a long time ago. So let's get some. I liked this magazine image. I thought those little stars or whatever those are, that pattern, pretty cool. Let me get a different page out here. I have a gluing magazine out so I can get glue to the edges of what I'm gluing and not worry about getting glue on my underpaper. I want to be able to use my underpaper for some pages for another book. So I'm trying to be a little careful. Dress pattern. A little careful. Probably enough collage bits. Actually, I'll just do it on both sides here. Probably enough. So let's get that out of the way. And go on to, I'm going to use a leaf stamp. Use some of my stamps. I'm going to use a leaf stamp, some various colors. I don't have a color scheme going on. I've got some paint and I've got some ink pads and that kind of thing. Actually, this is pretty cool. Pretty plain. Let me use my roller stamp. Don't use this enough. Get these out of the way. I don't use this enough. And the reason I have the underpaper so I can clean stamps off. I also have a little bit of water here to use. That's crazy. All right. We want to use a leaf stamp. One of my older leaf stamps. Let's get it really good and inked up. So, yes, I don't know what to say. I am just messing around. Just playing. Get that cleaned off. All right. Let's do, I haven't used this one in a while either. Let's use blue. Let's just use some blue. I'll use it on that one. Get the whole thing inked up. And do it across 2 pages. Oh yeah, that's really fun. Clean it off here. Wasn't much on there. Okay. And what else can I use? Oh, let's do some circles. Oh, there's a bunch of circles on here, so that's serendipity-like. Oh, I like that. Different page. I am making sure that I'm not planning anything out. Let's see, where else can I go? Let's do some little random circles on here. And is that, oh, there's nothing on that one. Nothing on that page. What can we put on there? Got some squares. Actually, let's just put some circles down here. And some squares. Oh, let's go to a different page. We're starting to plan. We're starting to try to make a pretty page instead of just messing around. Oh, I like the squares. Yep, I like the squares. All right, so that's enough stamping. We're going to do some acrylic paint. Okay, and I am going to use anything. No paintbrush. I am not going to use a single paintbrush. So let's go back to somewhere else. All right, so I'm going to use a palette knife, and I don't want a ton of paint, so I'm just going to scrape it really thin so it will dry pretty quickly. Just some in the crevice there. Okay. Oops, it kind of splooged out a little bit. Okay. That color. And then I don't want it to stick. Go to another page and use something else. Let's see. I've got a little brayer. A little palette here. We'll use some purple. A little bit of purple. That's cool. Okay, thinning it out so it will dry. Trying not to get these pages stuck together. And What else do I have? I have a little sponge. Oh, blue on blue. Nope, that's not a great idea. Go to someplace else. We'll put blue on there. I don't really want to mix my paint, so let's go ahead and put blue on this side. A little bit of sponge. Just a little bit of color. And that is going to stick together if I put it together. So I'm going to pause for a second and dry this. All right, so I dried all of the pages so that they don't stick together. Takes some time to do it that way, but what are you gonna do? All right, so let me add some yellow. And use a credit card. Just scrape it. It's stuck in the crevice there. It gets kind of thick. All right. That definitely needs some paint. Use a different color here. What haven't I used yet? Spatula. Get it thin. Get it real thin. And I'm just going to almost done with that color. Uh-oh. I bet it's clogged. Oh, yeah. Definitely clogged. Probably should have used my fingers. Is there anything in there? There we go. Just a tad. Used pink on pink. I was supposed to not do anything color coordinated. Oops. So, here, let's use this one. It's got more in it. I am going to use my paint in a while. All kinds of paint boogers. I am going to use a tape dispenser. Pink and blue probably wasn't the best idea. Oh well. Some of that in my underpapers. Use up all that paint. And I'm going to dry that so that I don't mess it up. when I turn the page. So I'll come right back. Alrighty then, all dry. And I'm just going to continue on quickly, just add a little bit of color to some of these pages. I got in the crevice really well. I just use this little cotton swab. I don't like this container. I like the paint, but I don't like the container. Some clean swab. We'll just paint some circles. It's all about the process. So mark making and all that fun stuff. Just take your time and experiment and play and see what you like colors put together. Trying to thin this paint out a little bit. It's pretty thick. And we'll use, what haven't we used in a while? I haven't used this blue. A tad. Oh, that's a lot, isn't it? All right. That was a lot. That just covered up my triangles like crazy. And a little bit of color here on the end. Oh, that's too color matchy. Put some purple down. Actually, we can use the purple that's there. Use that up so it's a light spattering of a little bit of color. And a little bit of blue. Get all that color off. Here we go. Use it all up. All right. I am going to go back and dry those pages. All right, so I am back, and I did not get to this page before the paint stuck the pages together, and when I pulled it apart, this came over on this side. This is a Serendipity Art Journal. These are exactly the things that you want to happen. And look at how cool that is. I've got a little hole. It was very unexpected, but I'm going to work with it. It's going to be fine. It makes it a whole lot more interesting. All right, so I'm all dry now, and I've got quite a bit of paint on the pages here. Some stamps, some things. So I'm going to go ahead and do some stencils. I'm going to use stencils with a toothbrush. And I'm trying not to plan it too much. Let me do it that way. And I'm just going to use this toothbrush and try not to let the stencil move. And see what happens. Actually, I should probably let it go to the other side of the page. So I'm going to move it. Yep, that's pretty cool. I'm going to move it so that it goes over there a little bit and continue it on just a little bit. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. This is a stencil that I made from a flashcard. I just used a paper punch and punched some stars in it. Let me use a different color. I have some dusters, some color dusters from Judykins. I got them a long time ago. Long time ago. I think you could still get them though. And so I'm just going to dust over this handmade stencil. In some spots. See what happens. Yeah. Don't want it too dark. The color dusting just gives it a light, and I really like it. You can see it just gives it a tint of color if you want. Sometimes if something's a little too white, I will use my color dusters and just make it not quite so white. So that's a toothbrush. I like that. And I have toothbrushes I use for every color, so I'm not contaminating my ink pads at all. I am going to stencil a little bit. Let's stencil over this just to set that a little bit because it's coming up in little places. So let me put some paint down there. Kind of set it down a little bit so it's not. And we'll go over the edge again. And I'm putting too much paint down just so that I can get those little bits down. Let's put some of that color over here. And you know what? Let's use a different color. I don't have any orange. I need to get that down a little bit. That one down just a tad. I did use this one, but it didn't really look. I'll use this one. I'll use that one. Put some more squares down. Just put a tad of paint underneath there so it will glue itself back down. I put too much paint out. It's almost too small of a pattern. So let me use this big pattern and really get some paint down on there. Use up some of that paint. It didn't work the way I wanted it to, so let's just go with it and add more. Get in the crevice there. Well, that didn't work real well either. Not to worry, I'm not really that concerned about it. Let's get that stencil cleaned off. Water on there. That's what I get for using such a thin little stencil. That's cleaned off. Get this one cleaned off too. Here we go. Alrighty, so I need to dry that before it sticks together again. Come right back. All right, so I'm all dry for now. I am going to stop. Boy, it got fat. It got fat with all the paint. So I'm going to stop for now and come back and do some more to it after I clean myself up, I suppose. Maybe tomorrow. And so this is serendipity. It's just do stuff randomly, different pages, not trying to plan something, just getting involved in the process, enjoying yourself, letting everything be whatever it's going to be. And we are far from done. And I need to do some of the outside too. So I will come back and play with this again soon. I've got a lot more other things that I can actually do with this. And we'll see how it turns out. Not that it has to. Thanks for watching.